Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome to Santa Cruz, California. Yeah, yep, Santa Cruz. So it's 5 a.m. Let's pick up a job. Let's get to work. So there's a couple things we can try to do. We can try to take a job to one of the vineyards up here. I'm not super optimistic about that. And the other thing we can do is try to take a job to one of these. Is it BHP Billiton? Yeah, and I don't see any going there. Okay, so there's some quarries over here, and if we deliver to both of them, they're not quarries, sorry. In ETS, they're quarries. In ATS, they're gold mines. And if we deliver over here, then that's way too far. If we deliver to those gold mines, we get, that's got some potential. Maybe. Okay. I'd like to do a trip that we can do in one episode. Grand Canyon, that's a long trip. We haven't been there yet. Yeah, we sort of have, but not really. And I think everything else, Barstow, kind of the wrong way. Eureka? You want to take this to Eureka? Kind of up the coast? Or San Rafael? That's only 170 miles. This is 323 miles. I think this is going to be... Yep, let's take this to Eureka. Perfect. So, get back in here. And we are in our... Man, I can't even remember sometimes. We are in our 377 that we just built. I haven't skinned it yet. I need to do that. Haven't gotten around to it. And I also need to reset my map. No, it was right. So it is Friday afternoon. And you know, in these videos, I talk mostly about, well, I try to talk about the sim that we're in, right? Like at any given moment. But I also just talk about gaming in general and a little bit about me. But not too much, because mostly the channel is supposed to be about gaming. It's not a vlog. It's about gaming. So I don't know how you feel about me talking about sims other than the one that we're in. And you know what's funny is making this turn is kind of funny. Everybody funny. Now you funny too. Really need that turn signal to turn off. More like a turn off signal, am I right? So what's funny is I find that I very often am not necessarily talking about the sim that we're in while we're in it. You know, a little bit. But I talk a lot about, I guess, almost like the last sim that I played, which is another way of saying the last sim that frustrated me. So, you know, I got iRacing, I guess it's been about a week, maybe 10 days. I got it on the 20th. That's when I started my career. So what's today? Not the 20th. I don't know. It's a few days after the 20th. We'll call it a week. Let's say it's been a week. And I've licensed up. No longer a rookie. I'm a D license now. And D license, I guess, has different divisions, right? It starts to split it up a little bit. But man, there is a lot to learn about that game. And one thing is, like, I thought I was just doing races, but apparently there's a bunch of series. I've been doing series. The races within series. But I've been doing series, and they go for a few days, and then it switches to the next one, and I'm building points, and I get a license, and if my safety rating is above 3, I get promoted on promotion day, but if my safety rating goes above 4, then I get promoted immediately, and it's good. It's good, but there is kind of a lot to take in. And obviously, you know this about me already. A little bit OCD, and I've really been enjoying it. And let's get hooked up, and then I'll tell you what's going on. So we're hauling this Family Dollar trailer up to Eureka. And let me see, what kind of trailers do we have here? We've got the Wabash Duraplate. I think almost all of these are going to be the Wabash Duraplate because I feel like this is the only one that we could get going. So, okay, so these are base game, but with the real company names. You know, we could take a little, it would look silly behind that giant truck we have, but we could take a little one. And then these are base game long trailers with the upgraded names. Okay, is there anything else over here? You take double trailers. You want to take tandem? Take tandem. Is there a Walmart tandem? That is the question. There most certainly is. Let's take that. It's been a while since we hauled tandems. So, where's our job? There it is. You know what? It's a weekend. It's almost a weekend. I'm going third person. I'm going to make this painless. I've also noticed this truck is a little tricky to get hooked up. And I don't know if it's me or if it's the truck. But I feel like because I use the advanced coupling, and I feel like the fifth wheel, the kingpin does an interface somehow it's just not as cool as it could be. And it looks like I'm not going to get it in one swing, but that's okay. That's totally cool. And I sort of want to be lined up perfectly anyway because I am curious if this is me. Yeah, see? That, I mean, it's a little bit off. But yeah, that's not just me. Right. I really do like the airlines coming out of the headache rack, though. I'm a big fan of that. Right. Okay. I would say that's an accurate, we'll call that an accurate look right there. That's something that you would see on an American highway. Right. Get our panel back here. A little bit of info. Put her in gear. Here we go. So what the hell was I talking about? Oh, iRacing. I've been playing a lot of iRacing. And it's fun. It's definitely fun. It's super awesome. But it's also, I'm coming off my rookie license, and that is, if you know iRacing, that is one of the most frustrating things to deal with. Because you're trying to bring your safety rating up to license up. And the safety rating is calculated on how well you drive, which is like leaving the track, you know, how often you put a wheel off. But it's also how often there's contact between you and another car. And I'd say it specifically like that. I didn't say it's how often you bump other cars. It's how often there's contact, because you both get the points when there's contact, whether it's your fault or not. And I was saying last video, well, I was saying it in my iRacing video that I did, but I'll say it again here. That didn't make sense to me initially. But I did some research on it, and it does make sense. I mean, it's not, I'd say it's not my favorite thing. And it's sort of like you're in a feedback loop almost, because like on the one hand, you won't get out of those lower license classes until you get your safety rating up and keep it up, right? Fair enough. But you're racing with a bunch of people who may or may not be, I mean, I've been in races with people and it was obvious they were steering with a keyboard. And I'm trying to pass them, and they're just like lurching back and forth across the track, side to side. And I have to get past them because I'm, you know, definitely significantly faster than they are, and I've got traffic stacking up behind me. And at some point, as this jamoke in front of me, that's obviously steering with a keyboard, as he or she brakes early, way early, I'm going to check up so I don't hit them when they're early braking, and then somebody's going to hit me. So, you know what I mean? I can either force a pass when it's really not appropriate, take a chance on contact, or I can try to be patient and wait and get tagged from behind. But either way, you get points, and that counts against your safety rating, which delays getting the license that would get you away from those people who aren't driving very well. I just saw we need fuel. I just saw we need fuel. We really need fuel. Now, this is going to be tricky. If I can find the right gear. There it is. Oh, tandem trailer through a gas station. How we doing? Well, we might make it. We might. Oh, or not. What are we caught on? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Easy, big truck. Easy. I'll fix it. Jeez, calm yourself. Right. Now, it's just a question of getting the back through. Tell you what, let's get the fuel first. We'll cross these bridges one at a time. So we'll get the fuel, and then we'll make sure we get our trailers under this awning. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's like a feedback loop. It's like Catch-22. You can't get in a class with better drivers where you don't have to deal with that until you level out, but it's hard to level out because you have to keep driving with these jamokes. All right. Speaking of jamokes, and I meant me, not that AI truck. That was all on me. What the hell was I talking about? What's his name again? iRacing, right. So yeah, and it's gotten to the point where when I register for a race, there are certain people, if I see their names, I'm like, you know what, I'm not even going to do this race. And it's weird because the people that you're practicing with, like everybody that's signed up for a race, you don't always get put on their server. There could be 60 people signed up for a race, and the software will assign them to 12 each to 5 different servers. So you don't know that you're going to end up racing against that person. And even if you do, you don't know that you're going to end up, even if you're in the same race, you may or may not see that person during the length of the race, depending on how you qualify and how you both drive or whatever. But I'm just grinding through it. It is extremely frustrating. Now, there is another way to do it, and that is the time trial way. And that is definitely an option. You can do, for most of the promotions, you can do X number of races and keep your safety rating above a certain number. Or you can do more time trials. It's always more time trials than races. You can do more time trials and keep your safety rating up. The thing about time trials is there's nobody to hit you. It's just you. So if you drive clean and you don't leave the track too often, you don't bounce off the walls too much, you can license up that way. But you do have to push. It's based on, like, when the time trial starts, even though you're on the track by yourself, there are other people on that server at that moment putting up numbers. So your numbers need to be competitive with theirs. You can't just like putt around in second gear and license up. So you have to drive hard, but you don't have to deal with anybody else. The reason I'm not doing that is I need to learn to race against other people. I absolutely have to. And that's sort of the whole point of iRacing. Like, I believe, oh God, jamokes. Who's talking about jamokes? I'm the worst today. Race sims. I realized I have 7 race sims that I use regularly. I'm in each of them, I would say at least once a week, if not more. And then something like iRacing, like I'm all OCD about it right now, so I'm just like iRacing. But I have 7 race sims, and 6 of them I race offline. There's no... Are we going directly through San Francisco again? Man, this keeps happening. I've 7 race sims. 6 of them I race offline exclusively. I want to race against people, and that's really what iRacing is for. I mean, the idea of single player iRacing, it's like that. That's just not what it's about, man. So I'm going to tough it out, and it is, like I said, it's really frustrating. And I try to be, positive about it. I think I've done a screenshot here before. Something about this area, like this kind of catches my eye. Yeah, we've done a screenshot here before because I remember the crane. Yeah, okay. Well, we just did another one. So yeah, that's what's been going on, and I'm done racing. I think, well, definitely for today. Today's Friday. I'm definitely done racing for today. I might be done racing for the weekend because it is. There was one. I think my safety rating was if you know all this stuff, just whatever, ignore me. Everybody does anyway. If you're in iRacing and you have a safety rating above 3 and you've completed enough races or time trials, you level up when it gets to the promotion period. But if you can get your safety rating above 4, you level up immediately. I know you're not beeping at me. I know you're not. I will get out of this truck. So my safety rating and this was to get my C road license. That guy doesn't. Oh. Jeez. It's very exciting today. I feel like these people followed me over from iRacing. So a 3 gets you a promotion in the promotion window. A 4 gets you promoted immediately. I had like a 3.95, and all I needed to do was complete a road race without hitting anybody, with nobody hitting me, and without going off the track. Sounds simple enough. I started in like P5. I got out. I got a little gap between me and 6, and things were going pretty good. And then for some reason, the guy in P6, or girl, could be a girl, on one of the slower turns, one of the slower corners, they just didn't brake. It was one of those, like, that's the craziest thing. It was one of those moments, because they just didn't brake. Turned me sideways, put me out in the grass. I got I got points for the contact, I got points for being in the grass, I got points for being out of control, and I lost about 10 positions because it was early in the race and everything was bunched up nice and tight. So I just needed like 0.05 to my safety rating to instantly get my C license. And instead I ended up losing like 0.2. I lost a bunch of safety rating. And, you get it back. And it's just a game, and it's very low level. It's not like there's some pretty high-end, like, career-type stuff that people are doing. Really serious racing. There's a pro license you can get. It's a big deal. I'm not nearly at that level. So it's really not that big a deal. Something's happening. I feel like the physics on this truck are a bit, you know what I'm saying? Cable car. Don't do it. So I'm at a point in my career where it's not that critical. It's just tedious. It's just grindy. Forward to being out of San Francisco. I turned the wrong place, but it's okay. So anyway, that's what's going on with iRacing. So I'm happy to be in a truck, a big truck. and we'll get out on the highway and decompress a little bit. I'm also running, I got SimHub, which is it's an app you run on your gaming system. And basically what it does is it sends a signal out on your network, and then you set a browser window. Easy. You set a browser window either on another laptop or on a tablet in my case, and it makes a little dashboard so you can see information that you can't get on the HUD in a lot of race sims at all, but then you also move it off your screen, off your gaming screen, so it frees up some space there. And I feel like, I mean, I prefer it because I don't have things like, well, I have more space for one thing on my screen. Like, I can see more of the track. But I also don't have things in my peripheral vision. If I want to see them, I can look at my tablet where I have all that information, but it's like I'm not tempted. Oh, you know what? I always forget this merges over to the left. I'm always tempted when I have things on my screen, on my HUD, to sort of look at them. And with this, it's like it's on a separate screen. I have to actually look away from my gaming screen, which initially I wasn't too crazy about that. That sounded like a bad idea, but I prefer it because it's like I stay focused on the track, and then if I'm on a long straight or something, then I can look over at that thing. But it gives me additional information that you just can't get in a lot of cases, that you can't get on your HUD. Is this guy turning? No. Okay. So what else is going on? Every week before I record ATS and ETS, the last thing I do before I start recording is I go online to see if there's a release date for, in this case, coming in. Get in there. To see if there's a release date for Oregon DLC, and it just keeps saying the fourth quarter of 2018. So hopefully within the next couple months. And there's also supposed to be, I hear persistent rumors of pro mods for ATS. I don't know how that would work. I don't know how pro mods works, period. I mean, I know how it like installs in my game, but I don't know how they're able to make that kind of content with volunteers. And they have to be volunteers because they give it away. There's no way they're paying a staff of, you know, however many people it would take to create something like that. So I don't know how they do it. It is a mystery, and it's a mystery that they can do the European map for ETS. I can't imagine that they could do an American map too. I don't know how many volunteers they'd need. Like all of them. They would need every volunteer in the world to crank out that content. They've got it. It's got to be what, 30, 40 people? I mean, I know SCS has written the base code of the game, and I know that ProMods uses a lot of like buildings and textures and roads and things that already exist, and they're more or less just like placing them on the map. But regardless, it is a gargantuan task. And I think, didn't SCS go from 4 people to like 60 or something? I can't imagine how many people have to collaborate to make pro mods. And then it seems like you would need at least an equal number to that to do pro mods for the US, pro mods for ATS. So, I don't know. They keep saying it's going to happen. I can't wait if it does. Not just because pro mods is awesome, like the map itself, but just the way they do things and their support and everything, and you know, the way they're so timely with their updates and patches, and it's just a really, really well-run organization. So I would look forward to anything that they would make for ATS. And if they make a massive American map, that would just be, and I wouldn't even know what to do with myself, particularly the mountain states. which if you're not from the U.S., that's going to be, we have Arizona and New Mexico now. Well, directly above Arizona and New Mexico, you've got Utah and Colorado. And then directly above Utah and Colorado, you've got Montana and Wyoming. And Idaho sort of to the west, which kind of segs right into Washington. Oregon and Washington, which has got to be the next DLC. It's either going to be Washington or Texas. And when I say next, I mean after Oregon. So I think Washington and Texas. Texas is going to be, man, that'll be cool, because Texas is a big, beautiful place with lots of fun stuff to model. So looking forward to that as well. So, but the short answer, I guess what I'm getting at, is no word yet on Oregon DLC, and also no word yet on whether there will be a version or a variation of the special transport DLC for ATS. But I hope there is. I really do. I think that would be super cool. I think heavy cargo is cool, and special transport is just that little bit cooler. Even though I don't use it a lot, which I said, I think, last episode. It's just cool to have. It's cool to have the option of hauling those jobs when you want them. Right. I think we need to get over. Sir? It's just so uncalled for. Why you gotta do me like that? Right. And I think, yeah, this is a pretty big freeway. I think we're going to take this up a ways and then head west. I want to say we're on that little twisty road through the mountains for quite a ways. So I think we're going to get off this highway up here. Not too far, I think. You know, I could check the map. I could check the map, but that'd be too easy. That would make too much sense. We'll have none of that on this channel. And I also think this could be, for the moment, the last episode for the 377. I think we're going back to the 567. And we've got that set up with two axles and those aero plates on it, the flow below system, fuel efficiency system. I think we may go back to 3-axle and a big flat top sleeper, which would be, I mean, at that point we will have a lot of flat top sleepers, but whatever, they're cool. I like them. And what we can do at that point is, okay, maybe we'll do that. We'll make our 567 into a flat top sleeper, a 3-axle flat top sleeper, and we'll take this 377 and make it into an aero sleeper. And I just need to figure out whether we want to do that on camera or off. Haven't decided yet. See how we're doing on time at the end of this episode. Maybe we'll do it then. Right, we're not going to be getting off this freeway. I thought this was the 5 for some reason, but we're over on the 101. I think the 101 goes all the way into Eureka, or if not into it, then at least very close to it. But the little twisty road then will be the one leaving Eureka going east. And that's fine too, because if we've got a little ways to go till Oregon comes out, initially, like a couple months ago, I thought, let's get up to NorCal and let's kind of post up in Northern California because Oregon is due any day now. But clearly it's not. So we're not limited. We can go over into Nevada. Nevada. You say Nevada? You say Nevada. We can head over to the east a little bit because it's quick enough to get back here. And I don't think we need to be, like, it's not, Oregon is not so imminent that we have to, like, be on standby. Our 567 also has those badass amber ghost ring DRL headlights. I've been missing those. Heading through Ukiah. Fantastic. I think I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at my mileage. I think we'll pull this into Eureka. We'll call it an episode. I'll make those changes off camera, and next week when we hop back in, we'll be back in the 567. Oh, game. When we hop in the 567 next week, we will be, I'll have it set up for a 3-axle flat top sleeper, a biggins. And I guess at that point, we really almost have to haul a heavy cargo, so we'll look for something heavy to haul to one of those gold mines in Nevada. Or, you know what we could do? Okay, let's try this. We haven't driven our 378 for a long time. Maybe we'll drive that. And it could be that, because that had a problem with heavy cargo, it kind of bounced and shook. Something was not right with the physics. It may have updated. You know, I'm trying to limit all of my ATS and ETS mods to stuff from the workshop, and the great thing about those is they update. You don't constantly have to be going to threads on the SCS soft forum and like manually checking to see if something has been updated. They just, as soon as the developer updates that mod, they send it up to Steam, and it just automatically populates the next time you log into your Steam account. So, carefully. So, and that's a Steam mod. Is it? I was almost positive it was, but now I'm not as positive. Well, either way. If it's a Steam mod, a workshop mod, and if it's been updated, maybe they solved the physics issue. I don't know. We'll find out. But we haven't driven that truck for probably a month or 6 weeks. So let's do it. Let's do it, man. Let's drive the 378. And then the other thing we haven't driven for a while is we've got two 389s. We've got a long one and a short one. So plenty of trucks to drive. And that's just staying on the Peterbilt side. I haven't ever bought or driven a Kenworth. Although I want to say like the first couple of weeks this game was out, a couple of years ago, the Aerodeath Volvo, the VNL? For some reason I feel like that was available. It was one of the first mods available for this sim. And the Viper 389, and I guess the Viper 389, what's weird about that is that was an ETS mod before it was an ATS mod. I can't imagine why anybody would want to drive that truck in Europe. That would be a nightmare, I think. But yeah, those are some of the first mods that came out. So I had the Aerodeath Volvo. I think, no, it wasn't the first truck I ever bought, but it was early days. But other than that, it's just been all Peterbilt since day one. Right, getting pretty close. And we got a tandem, so anytime you're hauling tandem, always the signs of pull through. Okay. We got an hour to get there. Hope we're not late. I think it gives you that warning when you have an hour. So we might be 6 minutes late. Oh dear, I have to cough. I'm going to try to cover my microphone because I can't get my hand up to my mute button. I don't know how bad that was. Sorry. Unprofessional. But you know what? These things happen. Not the end of the world. Yeah, that's weird because we've been keeping a pretty good pace, and there's been, I would say, quite a bit of speeding on the way up here. So I'm curious if we're going to be late. I think we are, just by a few minutes, because I know when you get the warning, you don't have a lot of time left. I want to say 1 hour. But we'll find out in a few minutes. Try to get a screenshot without wrecking myself here. Ah. Alright. That'll have to do. Hey, it's a little dicey. It's a lot dicey. Man, I'm just the worst today. This is terrible. Let's get it together for the big drop-off that's going to be late anyway. Maybe. Might be late. Might not be. Find out in a minute. Don't know. No, it's not. I thought maybe that was a turning lane to the right. But it's not. Oh, little car. Little four-wheeler car, you're killing me. Ah. Alright. Thought I was well back from the white line, but that's just the kind of Friday it's been. So it goes. You know, I could probably cover a fine with my $2 million. I think we'll survive. Oh, well, you know what? I already got the ticket. We should have just gone through it at that point. Right. we going to Tesla? It might be. Is that? No. Looks like we're going to the Walmart beyond the Tesla. Trying to read my mini map. I think Tesla's first and Walmart is next. And as it scales up, as we get closer to it, I think it'll make sense. Maybe. Yeah. And I guess we've been here before. That must have been a while ago. I don't 100% remember being here. Pretty sure that was the A-Team van we just passed. I have to check that on the replay. Walmart. Swing it a little wide here. There's that light pole that I hit every single time. Try not to hit it this time. Are we late? Oh, okay, we got it. Right, we make some money. We made 18,000, and we're working our way toward leveling up, folks. Thanks for stopping by to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator, and we'll see you next time. Take care.